Now, that's what happens when I hit two buttons at the same time. Why, hi there, my name is Ron Chuckett, and today we're going to do a little teaching for ya. I had a comment on my most recent Pro Football Replay game about how I call offenses, and since I don't really keep a lot of secrets, I'm going to go through and actually tell you how I do it. Because I think it's a unique question. Now, if you've watched any of my football replays in Action PC, you know I only call the offenses. I don't get my jollies calling defenses. It makes it fair for me because it's more of a challenge for me, and I think it gives you a better show. But because I call plays pretty quick, I want the games to go. You don't really get a good notion of what it is I do or don't call and why I call. And so when I got this comment this afternoon or Sunday afternoon, I figured I could type a response or just do a video. And so I think Alpine Comic Books, this is for you. And this is the comment. Here's a play calling question for you. You have a lot of success with a short, flat pass. After breaking down your video on the play before you throw a short, flat pass, do you try to run a dive draw play to put the ball in the middle of the hash marks? Looks like when you do that, you have a better chance to complete the pass. Well, that's a good question, whether or not that is true. I try to call plays on different, depending on the situation. And the short, flat pass is really a modern thing as far as, possession receiver, like a Wes Welker or Danny Amendola or someone like that. It's a good way to get 5-6 yards. But with a running back who can catch, it's a great way to get 5 or 6 yards. But essentially, it's just the bread and butter of the West Coast offense. Let me show you. And as always with our football videos, this is made possible by a generous donation from digitaldice.com, the best place on the internet for your sports simulation and replay needs to get a podcast. In fact, we talked with Dave Little from Sports Simulations and Replays recently and talked about basketball on that. So for the best podcast on the net to talk about your cards and dice and computer sports serious gaming, digitaldice.com. You can find us on Spreaker, on iTunes, and wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And so for this, I just set up an exhibition game between Miami and San Francisco from the 86 replay. I'm staring at a fly, which my cat has tried for the last couple of days to maim and murder and has not been successful. And you are just a big piece of poop. The fly, not you, the listeners. All right, so what we're going to do is, the reason why I picked these two teams, because they were very different. Miami, of course, by the mid-'80s was a pass-first team, and the Niners, with Bill Walsh, were, of course, a West Coast offense, which was lots of passes to the running backs, and then the pass to set up the run. That's the key thing, and so I'm going to show you why that's successful. And why in the 80s, of course, you had different teams, because the Giants ran to set up the pass, the Niners ran to set up the run, and the Dolphins didn't have any running backs. They had to throw. So let's try to see if we can answer Alpine Comic Books' question. So I'm just going to play a quarter of this. Crawford back for the kick. Monroe and Griffin, the upmen, they stand at their 10. There is wind here, Candlestick, 20 miles an hour, and it's going from right to left. The Niners, of course, in the uniforms with the white numbers, and the Dolphins in the white jerseys with the Howard Johnson colored numbers and 3 yards deep. Crawford's going to try to return this. We're not looking to play and win again. And that's taken the 5, and it's stopped at the 10. So McNeil with a tackle, and that's where we'll start. Wow. Okay. So my starting backfield is Craig and Rathman. Now, Craig can do both. He can run and he can catch, and that's why I would use a short flat. Rathman is good for the short flat. Here's the first thing I look on a play, and we'll run the short flat. I won't run it on this play. I look at my down and distance situation, 1st and 10, okay? So I can pretty much run whatever I want. On the short flat, you can see that if I go to Roger Craig, I have a 78% chance of completion. I don't think, and I may be completely wrong on this, that the hash marks matter in Action PC football. It just kind of spots it. On the diagram on the middle of the field, I just don't think it matters. But we'll see. It tells me the route, which means if I threw one here, Roger Craig would catch it at about the 5, which means throw a short flat pass from here. And that the average you see is the distance on the play from the line of scrimmage. So it's a 13-yard completion. But he has to cross the line of scrimmage, find a seam, and go from there. The interception thing is the percentage of the pass being intercepted. It's 0.3, and the TD is the chance that it's going to be for a touchdown, and it's less than 0.1. So that's the thing I look at. So on 1st and 10, I want to run from here. So I take a look at Roger Craig, and it lists all the run options. First thing I look at is the averages, and I tend to go with the higher average runs. And here it says sweep right because the average for that is a 5.8. Remember, my job is to try to break down the opposition defense and make that as short as I want, to make it easier to get first downs. The whole point of football is to score touchdowns, and the best way to do that is to make your 2nd and 3rd down plays as short as possible so you have all the options. And so here I'm going to run a sweep right. So I see that I have a 90% chance of a gain, a 14% chance of a first down, a 5.8 average on the play, and a 0.1 for the touchdown. And I'm only looking at the 5.8. I want to be able to get as much yards as I can on 1st and 10. So I hand off to Craig from Montana from the 10. He gets a bit of a seam. He gets across the 15. William Juxon will make the tackle at the 20, 1st and 10. Now, yes, everyone's excited. You would think that if it was using the hash mark system, that I would be up on the far side hash mark because that would be where the play was run and the tackle was made past the hash mark. But it isn't. It's set up right between the middle, and as for in a college game, of course, from this era, the hash marks were further apart. They still are a little bit, but in the mid-'80s, they were still way apart. And so Bobby Bowden from Florida State could run plays for his friend Sammy Sideline because he could take advantage of the shorter field. Here, I think you're just playing from the middle of the field. Okay, so I got 10 yards on that. Now I got room to pretty much run whatever I want. And so I ran on 1st and 10, and now I'm going to throw on 1st and 10. And for here, I'm going to look at Russ Francis. I see all my options. The shorter the pass, the higher the completion percentage. But I want to try to get a first down here. So I'm going to run a medium hitch. Why? 72.9 completion rate. The route is 11.5 yards. The average is 12.9. It's not going to get picked. It's a 0.6%. And like I said, I'm not worried about breaking a play for 90 yards or 80 yards in this case. I want to keep the ball moving. I could go with a cross, but I'm going to go with a hitch. So Montana back to pass. You can see Francis run the route. It's incomplete. All right. So now I want to avoid a 3rd and 10. And Montana just is 0 for 1. Now Miami's playing with a 3-4. At this point, I'm going to look at Rathman. So I look at my thing. I could go with a dive here. I could go with a trap right. It's the same play. Or I could go with an off-tackle right. I'm going to go with a trap right to Rathman. And the handoff to the right side gets me across the 20 to the 25, and that's a gain of 5. Now, let's take a look at... You would think that running to the right would be the best option for me. That's not true. The tight end is there, Francis. But his run block is only a 4. Okay, so that's not actually a good run block. Bubba Paris is a 6 run block at the tackle. That's pretty good. He's my right guard. Bruce Colley, my right tackle, was Paris. Colley's only 5. That's average. My center, Fred Quillen, is a 7. My better lineman on the left side. My left guard, Randy Cross, is my best run blocker. He's a 9 overall. And my left tackle is Keith Farnhorst. None of these are bad, but actually running to the left is going to be a better option for me for San Francisco. I have 3rd and 5, but remember, I could potentially run it, but I want to get a first down. So here, from the 25, I'm thinking short flat. And now I look at completion percentage because I think I can get 5 yards out of it. I'm going to try Roger Craig. Throw to the near or far side. Craig has it at the 21, 25. Flag is down. He got the first down. Offered all of the tackle after a gain of 8. What's the flag?
Holding offense.
It's all coming back to me now penalty. As Randy Cross held. Now I have 3rd and 15, which means I got to throw. So from that long, I know I can go 3 wide and 86. So I have my tight end, Francis. I can throw to Craig. I don't want to throw to Craig. I will move Montana out of the gun. I'm looking at... I don't really pay attention to what the defense does because that's my quarterback's job. I'm noticing that they're playing in a 3-3 nickel. I'm going to look at Jerry Rice. I need 15. 3rd and 15. What play can get me 15 yards? Well, a medium cross, I have an 83.1% chance of completing and an average of 16.3. Am I going to score? No. I could go with a long pitch or a long fly, which would guarantee me a first down. But no. Possession, possession, possession. I'm going to throw the medium cross to Rice. Montana has time. Rice runs his route. He's got it, but he won't get the first down. So they played a 3-3. They doubled Rice, and I only got a gain of 12, so 4th and 3. So that was not a successful drive because after 4 plays, I've got a punt. I'm going to do that, and Max Rundiger is going to punt with this win to Ellis. And he's going to boom the daylights out of this. It's a 48-yard average. Taken by the Dolphins at the 22, or the 19 rather, and Kugler will make the tackle at the 26, 1st and 10. Our default offense for Miami is a 2 running back, 2 wide receiver set. And I tend to run on the first play from scrimmage because I want to probe. Don't want to go 3 and out with the clock stop. And if you don't have a complete pass on first down, then you're putting more pressure on your quarterback to make something happen on second. Again, get the game down into chunks. You want to be able to manage 2nd and 3rd down. Lorenzo Hampton, I think that's his real life numbers. And Woody Bennett are my starting running backs. So I'm going to run. I see that I could use a sweep right from the 26. That's my best option. 75% gain, a 5-yard average. That's what I'm going to call. Sweep to the near side. Handoff from Marino across the 30. He is hit by McCall to 34. That's a gain of 8. 2nd and 2. Now, with the running team, I would just run again for the second to get the first down. But because I'm a pass first team, now I'm going to go to the air. And a medium slant is actually my call of choice. It's a seam over the middle of the field. It's a quick hit. I know that Dan Marino can throw the football very quickly just from personal experience. But look at my completion percentages aren't that great. I'm going to go to Mark Clayton. Look at line number 4. He's got a 53.7% chance of completion. The route is for 13.8 yards. The average of the play, if it's complete, is 18.4. And my interception percentage, and that's the key here. Look at Duper up above. 6.4%. That's not terrible. But if I try to Bruce Hardy, not only is my completion percentage way down, my interception percentage goes to 12.6. And I don't really pay attention to the sack, run, and dump. Marino. But if you can, you want to. But it's his job, my quarterback's job, to make the best determination of what he sees for a play. This is the call that I send. It's a medium slant to Clayton on 2nd and 2. Marino back to throw. He rolls around. Flag is down. It's complete. Griffin makes a tackle at midfield for a 15-yard gain.
Holding. Offense. Number 72.
Well, isn't that a kick
10-yard
in the
penalty.
pants? So that comes off the board. 2nd and 12. Now, I can run, but basically I'm looking at pass block numbers here. As I would introduce John Giesler as my left tackle. Roy Foster is a good one. My left guard. He can run block and pass block well. Dwight Stevenson is just an otherworldly lineman center. He's a 10 and a 10. Ronnie Lee, who made the bad penalty, is a better pass blocker than runner. And Greg Kotzer Cook is a 6 and a 6. And my tight end, Bruce Hardy, is not much of a blocker, especially on the pass. 2nd and 12. Going to run a draw. Bennett gives me a better average. He's not going to get me first down, but he could get me 4 yards. Let's do that. Handoff from Marino. Going to run behind Stevenson. He gets it across the 25. McCall makes a stop at the 28. Gives me 3rd and 8. And with this offense, I am absolutely fine with that. I go 3 wide. That puts in Mark Duper, Clayton, and Nat Moore. And Tony Nathan as my running back as a wide receiver. I wouldn't necessarily go with a flat pass or a screen on 3rd and 8. San Francisco looks like they're running a conventional 3-4. So here, I'm going to look at a medium cross. Nathan can't make the medium cross. I'm looking at completion percentages first. Look at line 3, Clayton, 60.9. That's probably where I'm going to go. 15.1, the root. Again, I need 8. I'm going to get 15. He's going to get me 19. And an interception percentage of 4.0. It's a much better option than Moore for sure. Duper and Clayton. I'm sure that Rice is Ronnie Lott's lined up on Moore. And I don't really pay attention to the touchdown percentage. I don't do play actions. I don't think it matters. It might, but it's not something I've paid a heck of a lot of attention to. And I trust that Marino is not going to try to run on 3rd and 8. So I call the play. He's going back slowly. I don't like that. He rolls around. He throws, and it's incomplete. So San Francisco forced to 3 and out. The penalty killed him. Who's Lott lined up on? The tight end, Bruce Hardy. That's interesting. I'm going to punt, and Reggie Roby's going to punt into this wind. 43 yards. Griffin is a good. And so we set that up. A punt. Kick taken at the 30, 35-40, and it's a 43-yard punt, a 10-yard return, and the 49ers start at their own 39. Again, second verse, same as the first. 1st and 10. Now I would start to run it. I would do the short flat. It's a short field. I want to take advantage of the West Coast. Possession is the name of the game. I'm going to go to Rathman. I'm going to throw into the near side. It's a 72% completion percentage. He's got it. He runs down the near sideline. He gets a first down. It's a gain of 12. It worked. What did Miami run against me? They ran a 3-4 basic, and they doubled Rice. So I had an open receiver. I have a quarterback who excels at high percentage short passes, and I got 12 yards out of it. So I set up at the 49. That pretty much leaves me with anything I want to do. So I want to do a run here. I'm going to call an off tackle right. In my mind, I'm already knowing it's going to go to Craig. Rathman just can't run that much. I'll put Cribbs in a minute. So I'm thinking, okay, 90% chance of a gain, an average of 5.5. I'm running to the weak side of my line, but so far it's going to work. So far it has worked. So it runs to the weak side, across midfield. Green makes a tackle at the 45. Ooh, now Miami blitz 3 and double Rice. So I obviously made the right call. It's a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. I take out Rathman. I put in Cribbs because here I have a heavy lineup for San Francisco. I want to pound the football. The West Coast doesn't mean I don't run. The West Coast just kind of gives me the option. 2nd and 6. I want to get Cribbs involved right away. I'm looking at my options. Sweep right jumps out to me because it's a 5.6 on the average. And that's what I'm looking for. The best play with the best average that doesn't get me in trouble. Miami's run defense isn't very good. He runs to the right side. He gets a block. He runs it to the 40, and he gets me a first down. Brzezinski makes the tackle, and San Francisco gets it 1st and 10 to the Miami 39. Now, I can pretty much run whatever play I want. I haven't gotten Jerry Rice, but they keep doubling Rice, so let's see if I can keep Miami honest. I'm looking at Dwight Clark, and you see sometimes I go for a specific play and then a receiver. Sometimes I want to go and get a specific player in the going. And I'm looking at that medium cross for Clark, an 81.5% chance of catching it, a route of 11.8 yards, a 14-yard average on the play, and for whatever the medium route is, they're just not going to pick him off. It's a 0.6%. Again, from the 39, a touchdown would be nice. It's not necessary. That's the play I call. He's got time. You see the route run, and he goes instead to Rice, I think. No, it was Clark, and there's a flag down. What's the flag?
Ineligible man downfield. Offense.
And long.
Number 77.
Bubba Paris, my
5-yard
right
penalty.
tackle. All right, 1st and 15. Now I would tend to run a dive or a draw. I want to get those 5 yards back. Now, I think this is what Alpine Comic Books was talking about. Is this where I would run the short flat? Something short, something that's going to get me those yards back. You've seen now the completion percentages. Let's go to Craig. Let's go to the far sideline. He throws. He's got it. And I'm going to it's the 40-30 first down and offered all. So it's a gain of 18. And again, this is essentially the West Coast offense. Craig, it kind of goes to this day. I need a running back who can get me yards on the ground and go to the sideline and get me a pass. And again, you see where the ball is spotted at the middle of the field. He got me 18. First catch. Montana is now 3 for 4 for 42 yards, and I've run the ball 4 times for 25. I have 67 yards. I have a point on the board. All right, I want to bounce this back with Craig on a run play. We'll run left side. We haven't run one to the left, so Craig will cross through 25. Ship makes a tackle after a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. I want to run again. Why? Because I want to keep the computer AI kind of guessing on what I want to do. I look at Cribbs. I want to run to that left side again. I've already done a sweep right. This time, trap left. Cribbs pretty much goes straight ahead. He gets across the 20, and I get a gain of 5. I use the clock. I've taken 4 minutes off the clock on the drive. I have 3rd and 2. Now, this is where, like a Giant team or a 60s and 70s team would run the football. But I don't want to run the football here. I've got the 49ers. I'm going to look at Rice. Can I get a touchdown? Yeah, medium slant. That's the giveaway. Here I'm looking at if there's something that jumps out, like, whoa, I've got a good chance for a touchdown. I'm going to try it. And the medium slant you see for the touchdown is 70.7%. I want to score. Guess where I'm going? Rice on a medium slant. Montana back to throw. Rice runs the route. That's 6. Sometimes there are giveaways in the game of how to do that. And so Rice makes the touchdown catch. We'll watch it again on the replay. It's an effective drive. 7 plays, 61 yards. Rice makes the catch. San Francisco goes ahead. And on the extra point, I don't really have any control over that. Worsham hit it. Now I'm down 7 points for Miami. Again, 7 points, you can run whatever options you want on offense. But Miami says, we're not going to run all that well. So I kick. I return from the 2. I get to the 20, and that's not bad. So I'm starting pretty much from basic field position. I don't want Woody Bennett. Bennett can't run the ball for me. I want Ron Davenport. Now, if you see here on the left, if you add the runs, Hamptons can run it 186 times over a given season. Davenport, 75. So some quick math tells me that gives me 260 carries divided by 16. That's about 20 carries a game, give or take. I don't play a team for every game, but at least it gives me some options on the run. And you can see Marino threw the ball 623 times, and Strock and Jensen threw for 2 more. So Miami tried 645 pass plays. 1st and 10, I'm going to put it up. Clayton. Medium slant. Marino goes back to throw. He waits for the run to be done, and Hardy's hurt. Incomplete. His return is doubtful. And who's going to be my Johnson? Dan Johnson's my tight end. So a 2nd and 10, that now leaves Miami in a pickle. I'm going to try a run. I'm going to go to Ron Davenport. I kind of avoid the sweeps and the pitches here. I want to get some yardage up the middle of the field. Trap left. The trap plays are both the same. I should get about 4 yards. That worked. He went in the secondary, and Ellison made the tackle at 31. So I got 11. I had a good chance for a gain, and it got me 11 yards. So Roy Foster, who is my left guard, ripped open the big hole. If you play the game, I use the percentage screen there. It just kind of lets you know who made the tackle and gives you some percentages. It'll tell you that. Watch who's giving you the big holes. Sometimes a lineman can give you a big deal. So at 1st and 10 from the 31, again at the middle of the field. This time I'm going to run it. I'm going to go to Lorenzo Hampton. Oops, I meant to go off tackle right, but Marino botched the snap. And he gave it to Lee, and Carl Lee got nothing. Or Ronnie Lee got nothing. So Stevenson and Lee, theoretically, have carries. Well, it's no flag in a 2nd and 10. Doesn't really matter. It's a botch play. Again, now I take a look. Do I run the short flat here? Well, Hampton is a better receiver. It's a 57% chance of doing it, of completing it. A 10.3 average if he completes it, and if Marino gets picked, that's his fault. We'll try it. To the near side. Marino waits too long. He throws it to the tight end instead. So Marino was good to go to a 2nd read, and Johnson got him 9 yards, and Ronnie Lott makes the tackle. So it's 3rd and 1. Normally on 3rd and short, I could go to a 2 tight end set. I could throw if I wanted to, but I'm going to run. I'm going to give it to Hampton. Trap left. Going to get me the yard? No, San Francisco's going to stand him up. In fact, Farnhorst for a loss of 2 because they keyed Hampton. And Ron called the bad play, but my can't really run the football. 4th and 3. First quarter, I'm going to punt. So Roby is back to punt. Go catches it at the 20. They will start after a 9-yard return from their 28-yard line. So 2 punts for 86 yards for Roby. Griffin's done a good job in returning. Again, heavy lineup in there. It gives me the option to run, but I know I have wide receivers and such. So what would I run here? I'm gonna short flat to Cribbs just to keep my computer guessing. Near sidelines, he's got it. 35, 40. Another flag is down. It's a huge play. It's 18.
An eligible man downfield. Offense, number 69.
Collie, the right guard, takes an 18-yard play off the board. So 1st and 15. Again, I could go screen, or I can just go whatever I want to. Screen, draw are usually my go-to options. on a first and long situation, I'm going to run. I'm just going to run a regular play. Okay, Joe. Trap left. Let's see if you can get anything out of that. 25-30. Excellent. He got me 9 yards. So now I'm running on 2nd and 6. My tight end, Russ Francis, ran the big block and dug me out of 2nd and long jail. So on 2nd and 6, you can run any play you want. Clark, again, I want to get a first down. I want Miami back on their heels. Medium hitch. 80% completion chance. Nope. Judson knocked it away. Is he going to call it a drop? Nope. So Montana, 4 or 6 for 60 yards. Now I have 3rd and 6. I go 3 wide. I bring in Wilson. And he's down with Jerry Rice. You don't see the picture there. And now I'm just going to look for, this is normally when I call a play. Medium slant. I'm looking for completion percentage is what I'm looking for there. Rice, 84.7%. That's where we're going. Montana waits, throws. Rice has got it. Ball at the 45. It's a gain of 14, 1st and 10. Doesn't usually take me very long to call. Again, okay, 1st and 10. I'm going to go back to the air again. Go back to my conventional set. I'm going to look at Dwight Clark. I'm going to call a medium cross. Now, here's the audible. I always do this on the audible, and I got to call a play. Screen to Craig. Screen always works against the blitz if it's complete. Far side, he's got it. 45-50. It's a gain of 4. I call the screen against a blitz because it's the most effective play to call against an emergency blitz. Did they actually run it? No. They showed blitz, but they went into a normal zone, a 3-4 basic pass. So they showed a blitz. I go to the screen. I got 4. I got positive yards. It's 2nd and 6, and now I can run the football because I got positive yards, and on 2nd and 4 to 6, it's whatever I want to do. I've thrown it 8 times. I've run it 7. Cribs, trap left. And this time the computer got wise because I called that play a bunch and Offerdahl stopped it after a gain of 2. And we're going to play one. That's it. I'm going to finish this series and call it that. So 3rd down and 4. I don't want to run here. I don't think I can get it. I can throw, but I've already gotten my backfield a bunch. So I want to first, this would probably be where normally I would go with a medium. Let's do a short cross. My running backs aren't options. Again, look at completion percentages. I need 4. Once in a while, you'll hear me stall for a second, say, I need this. I need to run a route that's going to get me, or a route that's going to get me a first down if they catch it. This will work. I'm going to go to Clark. I think they're going to double Rice. It throws, and it's on the same page, but not there. Blackwood's hurt, and it won't matter. So I only got the 7 points in the first quarter, but let's see how I did calling offense. Now, if San Francisco, I kept Miami off the field a long time. And, of course, they obviously weren't in the red zone 7 times. But I did get 122 yards on those plays. I went 6 for 9 in the air for 78 yards. And I ran it 8 times, so it was effective. So I was able to go to the air and on the ground. And I got 2 first downs on the ground and 4 first downs on the air. And out of that, I got a touchdown, 7 plays, 61 yards, and a 434. For Miami, Marino went 1 for 3. He only had 2 possessions in the game. But he couldn't do anything in the air because San Francisco's good. And you can see the weakness there for Miami. They're not that good defensively, and they're just a one-dimensional offense. So I tried to run 8, but Miami only had 8 plays in the first quarter. Is that a killer? Oh, gosh, not at all. Not at all, but you can see why Miami would struggle against a West Coast offense team, because Miami's just not going to be very good if they get behind. They can go to the air, they can score rather quickly, but they suffer from not being able to possess the football. And so here's a rare case of 80s football where I threw more than I ran, and San Francisco was able to run 10 minutes off the clock in the first quarter. The other thing I kind of focus on is sometimes I'll go in the Pro Football Reference and see how a team played if I haven't played them before. I want to know if they were a run-first team like the Giants, or a pass-first team like the 49ers, or a longer pass team like the Raiders, or like the Redskins, who are just going to be, no, I'm not talking from 86, who are going to run out of a 2 tight end set with a single setback and just try to ground and pound. So there's a little bit of homework that I do for that. I hope that kind of answers your question, but I don't think that any football game puts into perspective where the ball actually sits between the hash marks, whether it's on a hash mark or in between. If it does, it's certainly not illustrated that way. But I try to give myself, as the team I'm calling the offense for, the best opportunity to try to score. And sometimes, if you go back and watch, let's say, the Giant Minnesota game I did, that's the most recent one, so the week of the 24th of November, you can see when Steve Bono comes in at quarterback, Minnesota wasn't going to be able to do anything. Interception percentages of 10% at a minimum, no matter what the play was. Horrible completion percentages. There's just nothing you can do about that. You got to string stuff along. A good defense is going to get those completion percentages down. If you see me hesitate at the start of a game trying to make a play call for an offense that I know is going to struggle against a very good defense, the 86 Giants, for example, you got to make do what you can. And there I will go with, okay, I try to figure out in my head, what will they give me? What can I take advantage of? I don't go for bombs that often. It just leads to trouble. I need to keep my offense on the field and get yards. That's how most 80s football went. But I do play, unintentionally I guess, a lot of West Coast football. It worked. It worked. Especially in situations where receivers are double covered or they blitz. They're quick throws. They keep the ball moving. What I want to do is just keep the ball moving down the field. And so if you notice, in a lot of my games, the scoring drives tend to be long. I'm stringing together short play after short play after, or medium play after medium play. Sometimes I will tell you I'm going for the one-play drive. There wasn't a situation in this video where I could. But if I get, around the 40-yard line, between the 40 and the 20, after a turnover, I'm looking to see, what can I do? Can I try the one-play drive? It's 1st and 10. If I don't complete the pass and get the one-play drive, if it's short, then I can pretty much run something on 2nd down and set up, hopefully, something inside 3rd and 5. If not, whoop-de-ding-dong. I'm going to pin the other team back deep. And if it works, I got a touchdown. So there you go. Hope this answers your question. And anything else you'd like to know about play calling on offense, I'd be happy to do another video. I'm Ron Juckett. If you're interested in live streams, check me out on twitch.tv/retrosportsnetwork. Upload these type of videos, and all the new game stuff will be uploaded to YouTube at some point, hopefully the same day as it's streamed. Until then, I'm Ron Juckett. We'll talk to you the next time.